Good day, grade 12s. Welcome to lesson number 62. This lesson comes from one of my textbooks, The Distinction Bound Student, grade 12. We also have grade 11 and grade 10. Alright, in the previous lesson I gave you some homework. It says, how is the market price determined in a perfectly competitive market? And I answered this question before I even asked it 1,000 times. The market price is determined by demand and supply. So market forces of demand and supply are the ones that tell us the price. Number two, why wouldn't a perfectly competitive firm charge more than the market price? Now you might want to think, okay, it's a good thing to charge more because you make more profit. But the problem is, one of the characteristics in this market is perfect information. So because firms have perfect information, they are not going to buy from your business because they know the market price. So if the market price is, let's say, 2 Rand, you try to sell at a higher price of 3 Rand. Firms have perfect, buyers have perfect information. So they are not going to buy from your firm because they know that the market price is 2 Rand and they know exactly where they can get the same product at the market price. So firms cannot sell at a higher price because of that reason. The next one is, explain the difference between the demand curve for the industry and the demand curve for the industry. Now, the question says explain, it doesn't mean prove. The demand, sorry, let me come to the previous page because the answer is right there on that page, there. The differences I told you in the previous lesson, this is the industry, this is the individual. What difference do you see? Do you see this demand curve is downward sloping? This one is horizontal. So our answer is there. The demand curve is downward sloping and this one is horizontal. So that's it with our homework. I hope you got your answers correct. Right, so now we're moving on to lesson number 62. And now we are talking about output decisions. Now in this one we are saying, how much should a firm produce? And to answer this question, we have two main rules that we are going to look at here. Possibility number one being the firm should produce nothing. That means the firm cannot cover its average variable cost, so it should produce nothing, shut down and exit the industry because it has that freedom anyway. Because firms have the luxury to enter and also the freedom to exit the industry. So if you cannot meet a certain rule, in this case, if you cannot cover your variable cost, then it is to the interest of the firm to exit the industry. The other one is, if we give a number, like let's say 100, like why should a firm produce 100? A firm could produce 100 if 100 is the point where marginal cost meets its marginal revenue. So here's the answer. Like I said, okay, how much should a firm produce? This is the firm's demand curve. D is equal to AR, which is equal to MR. So how much should you produce? You should produce at the profit maximizing point. So if it's 100, then let it be 100. And why not 200? Because at 200 you cannot, okay, let's say our MC is here, you see, they meet there. How about at 50? No. Why? Because in this case, the firm can produce the next unit, which is 51. And the margin, the cost for producing that extra, because this is cost, that extra unit goes up, but the price is higher, so they can make that profit. Because look, the firm is trying to maximize its profit. So it can produce the next unit, the next, until 99. Let's say 99 is there. Okay, should the firm produce the next unit? The answer is yes, because it then will make its maximum profit at 100. If the firm produces 101, Now, the cost for producing that additional unit is more than the price at which the firm is selling the product. So, unit 101, it will then, it's more like it costs 6 rand to produce that additional unit and sell it for 5 rand. So it doesn't make sense. But if the additional unit costs 4 rand, it's worth making that additional unit and make that extra 1 rand in profit. So if your profit was already 1,000, so your profit can become 1,001 because that N1 is made by producing that extra unit. Okay? So that's rule number 1. Rule number 1, how much should a firm produce at its profit maximizing point, which is at this point where MC is equal to MR. The next one is, what if a firm should produce 0? Then let it be. But how does that happen? Right. Again, this is your marginal cost and this is your units. Let's say the price is 6 rand. Now, let's say this is your average variable cost. And if ever the price drops below this, let's say this is 4 rand. If ever the market price, because of these forces of demand and supply, if any of these curves move in such a way that it causes the price to drop below this AVC, let's say 3 rand, then this firm should shut down because this is what we call the shutdown point. And I'm going to explain it in detail in the next lesson. So if the price was ever to drop below 4 rand, then the firm must shut down. So in this case, I'm saying the firm should not produce anything because what we are asking in this lesson is output decisions. How much should the firm produce? Produce, number 1, produce where you maximize your profits. That is here. Is it there? No, it's there. Produce where you maximize your profits, where your MC is equal to your MR. Number 2, how much should you produce also? In some instances, you should produce nothing. And why would you produce nothing? If the price ever goes below 4 rand, because you cannot cover your variable costs. So we are talking about 2 different rules here. So there they are explained. A firm should consider shutting down when their total revenue is less than their total variable cost. So I explained this, I even used the graph to explain. And when we are saying total variable costs, fixed costs, what are we talking about? Fixed costs are those costs that do not change as output increases or decreases. So that cost is fixed. And variable cost is cost that changes depending on many forces. Let's say you drive more, so you use more petrol. You drive less, you use less petrol. Alright, so I'm not going to go further because I've explained all this, and this is an example why you can pause the video and read this, but you can see from how I explained, you can understand this because I've already explained this rule and the other one. And here I'm just giving an example like why is it important maybe why would a firm continue even though they are making a loss? Now you will see that because in certain instances they'll still have to cover their fixed costs. So if your fixed cost is 20,000 and you shut down and then you still have to pay the 20,000, look, you can see that no. So if my current loss, if I'm running my business, is 1,000 rand, I would rather continue and lose 1,000 than shut down and still have to pay the 20,000. Alright, so what is our homework for today? Draw and explain the supply curve. Okay, I like this one. It has become a common question in the exam nowadays. So draw and explain the supply curve of an individual firm. So thank you so much. I'll see you in lesson number 63. Enjoy your day.